What's up, everybody, and welcome to
TamzTable.
Oh, you sound good,
Little song.
y'all. I'm so happy to have y'all here with me today, all my VIPs. Pull up a chair because we have a special guest today. This is my dear friend, Willie Nelson III.
The third.
Don't forget, do not forget the third, y'all. Don't forget the third. And we also have King Crab ATL. This is our first time trying King Crab ATL. We got some crab legs, some corn, some eggs, some shrimp, some potatoes, everything. We got the butter sauce on deck. We got the seasoning on deck. And so I'm going to bless our food, and we're going to get into who Willie Nelson is and why he is so special to me. Gracious God, I want to thank you for this food that we're about to receive. Lord, I ask that you will bless it and sanctify it and allow it to be nourishing to our bodies and in which all of it matter. And Lord, for those that don't have anything to eat, Lord, I ask that you will bless and provide for them as you are Jehovah Jireh. Lord, bless this time that I have with my dear friend Willie. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Man, you better pray.
You know, okay, so we grew up in church. So we don't know nothing else. We know how to pray.
Listen.
Hallelujah. So we don't want to delay any longer. We want to go ahead and get started eating because I know y'all want to know how it tastes. We want to know how it tastes. And then we're going to get into the questions about my friend. My friend. All right, so let's go. This that butter sauce, y'all.
Uh-oh.
We don't want to know.
That thing heavy. That thing is heavy.
We don't want to miss that, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go first. Ooh, shot. All right, Craig, your turn.
That's just sinful. Sinful. You just all.
Drizzy. Hey, y'all see that? Lobster tail, corn, shrimp, egg. And he threw in the eggs, the seasoning, and the butter sauce for me, y'all. Hook me up. And what we have is to drink some sweet tea. All right, y'all, I'm hungry. I'm about to try this.
What you trying first?
Shrimp.
I'm gonna try a little piece of this here crab leg.
The third.
So what do you do with this season? This is the season that's already on there?
Okay, so the seasoning is already on there. Watch them do that.
That's good.
And then put the butter sauce on top of it. Yeah.
That's real good.
I have been trying to do this collab with Willie for so long. Our schedule.
We working.
Our schedules, y'all. We busy. We working people. He always out of town.
I have to get my travel in.
Travel.
Work and pleasure.
Yes.
Gotta celebrate life. Live it out.
Yes, that is his motto, y'all. Celebrate life. So if you ever see me with the hashtag celebrate life, it came from him. Celebrate life.
Y'all know me. Birthdays. Just life.
Just life. We having a game night this Friday night. Yes. I can't wait. Spades. All that good stuff. Butter sauce on my lobster.
Special little game I learned when I went away. See, traveling, found a new little game.
Right.
It's a secret. I ain't telling what it is.
But he gonna tell me to bring 9 singles, 9 $1 bills. Oh my God. This lobster.
All the lobsters there.
Everything. You got the napkins over there, really?
Yeah, they over there.
Oh, and I got some of that 2 times spicy dipping sauce I want you to try.
Ooh, devil, see, demons and devils. We just gonna say no.
Y'all, my VIPs know I be struggling with that demon sauce.
Demons and devils.
I'm gonna have him try it.
The blood.
It look like blood too. Yeah. Wish y'all can be here with us. Look at Lobster. My VIPs. How do you like it?
That's really good.
Isn't it good? I've had a lot of different butter sauces, but this one is really good.
It's already so juicy.
Juicy. I just reviewed He Loves Miles making this sauce. And hers was really, really good. But so was this one. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Marcus. Huge shout out to Marcus, the owner of King Crab ATL, who took such good care of me today. Oh my gosh. I will be back. Alright, Willie Nelson III.
What's up, Tam?
We finally got, y'all, we've been trying to catch up a long time.
A long time. First of all, we've known each other for 10 years. A little less than 10 years, but I'm going to cap it. 10 years.
10 years. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, friend. And Willie is a man of many hats. He does some of everything. He is coordinator, administrator, businessman, realtor, musician, singer, director, music director, and we're going to stop right there.
Yeah. I work hard.
He worked real hard. I can barely catch up with him. This is my friend, y'all, my friend. And so, speaking of his job as a realtor, if you are here in the Atlanta area and you're looking to purchase or to lease, please hit him up. I will have his information in the description box below. Yes, for all your leasing and buying needs, yes.
Selling, buying, all of that.
He will sell you ATL, honey. And the outskirts.
And
right? Yeah, outside too. Dunwoody, Sandy Springs.
And a lot of people don't know, even if they're in different areas,
I have an international network.
Oh, wow.
And I can really hook some people up, no matter where you are.
So my VIP outside of Atlanta, he can definitely take care of those needs as well. Yeah, this is really good. I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so he is a music director. That's one of my favorite things about Willie Nelson. He's a music director. And when I met him, he was directing me. I had been asked to join this youth group. I wouldn't say choir. It was a youth group.
Young adult ensemble.
Young adult ensemble.
There you go.
Excuse me. And so that's where I met him. And we had some funny times in that group.
Funny.
So I got some questions. Y'all know music directing and choir directing is not easy. But some of you don't know. You get to know right now. Okay, so Willie, how long would you say you've been? Don't be trying to look at the question.
Right, I need to know what you found out.
How long have you been a music director or choir director? I'm gonna say music director.
Right, that's a whole other thing about titles and roles.
Yeah, it's
and
not just
functions
choir.
and all
We're
that.
gonna get into that. So how long have you been an MD? Music director?
Well, I've been in the position of overseeing music and different arts. Well, I'll do this. My first position in the church, I was actually Sunday school piano player.
Oh wow!
Like y'all know Sunday school, just a few little people. And I was like 13 back then, and would play. I would learn a hymn every week to play for Sunday school. And then I started working with our young choir, youth choir, whatever. And so, I'm a couple of decades older now. And so I started in Tallahassee, Florida. I lived in Tallahassee for a while. And so I started really there where I really started to oversee and assisting in entire church music with worship and arts. So that's when I really, not only just, I was in, you may not even realize, I was drum major in high school.
Okay.
So I was in band. So I was drum major. And I actually started my gospel choir at Henrico High School in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
So coordinating and all that was just a part of who I was. I just did it. So when I started working for large churches in my early 20s, I just started kind of getting it all together and pulling it all together and pulling people and musicians, and it just went from there.
Wow, so you just answered my next question. But how many organizations would you say you ever worked with? Schools and churches and everything?
When you were churches, I probably...
Everything.
Yeah, from growing up, I was in my same church growing up, but I also worked at another church there. They had a youth praise team, so I was 2 in Nashville, 3, Tallahassee, 4, and then when I moved here, there are 3 churches here in Atlanta that I work with. All of them were pretty large churches.
Big mega churches. We're not gonna name them.
Yeah, but
we're all mega churches.
Yeah, so 3 here, so like 6 or 7 throughout my career. I try to stay as long as the Lord will have me stay there till my season is up.
Till your season
You know,
is up.
I try not to overstay my time.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
What are some of the challenges in directing a choir group or band, i.e. different attitudes, personalities, all that?
Well, you just named it. Listen, people are people. I try to say whether they are in church, whether they are on the street, whether they are in your corporate, so you know how you work with different personalities on your job, you know, different personalities in your family. It's the same way.
Well, we're talking about choirs and groups and bands.
So yeah, definitely personalities are number one. Learning how to manage different personalities. Learning how to one person. There aren't cookie cutter ways to approach people. Like everybody's different. Some people respond to being yelled and fussed at. Some people you need to pull them to the side. Some people will challenge you in front of people. You know, just to test you. I have a funny story about that when I first moved here to Atlanta.
Somebody challenge you in front of everybody?
Oh yes.
What?
Yeah, they still laugh about it. The funny thing is, I'm really, really good friends with them now.
Okay.
But it was actually an audition. So I was auditioning for a church here in Atlanta. It's a large mega church, and they actually were recruiting me. They had heard about me, and at the time I wasn't really working. Because I just moved here. So they found out that I was in the city and I was available. And so I went to audition. And so part of the audition was the choir, well, a portion of the choir members were there. And I had to teach them a song. Okay, no big deal. This is what I do. I'll teach them a song, whatever. So this is the first time I've had choir members that were asking questions of me, like interviewing me, which was weird.
Okay. I remember this story.
Yes, but like, so they asked a question, which anybody knows me, like I guess celebrities and people of prominence. I'm not a name dropper and I'm friends with this person. So one of the questions they asked was, well, have you worked with any famous artists or people? I'm like,
oh yeah, that question.
What does this have to do with me?
My vocal ability.
Like, what does this have to do? Yeah, so like, what does this have to do with this here? And so I asked, was like, have you worked with any famous people? Like, you know, and so she was like, oh yeah, well I've sang background for this person, that person, that. I said, well that's great, I have as well, but you know, I'm not just gonna name drop. I've given the proper persons my resume, that speaks for itself. And so they were just like, Blue? Okay. Yeah, so you know, you get those, you get the personalities, people, you know, you got the divas and the divos who, you know, who really can sing, you know, but they are so grandiose and just, you know, their attitudes are just so nasty.
They sashay into the church, sashay into the concert.
You know,
sashay.
with their Gucci scarves on.
Whoa.
And, you know.
No shade.
But,
no shade. Okay.
So you have all of those personalities.
Okay, and let me ask you this. How would you handle telling someone or advising someone that music just may not be their thing and they just vocally aren't quite there yet?
Yes. Tam is funny because she's been around me when I've had to have that conversation, right?
Woo, child.
So yeah, I always tell people, God gives everybody, that was so good. God gives everybody gifts, right? Everybody has a measure of giftings in different areas. So in order to work effectively, I tell people, when you drive a car is made up of tires, it's made of you know, gear shifting, fuses, lights,
yes.
all of it, windshield wipers, all of it works together
Come
to
on.
make the car go.
Come on.
Right? So if the windshield wipers are supposed to go back and forth when it's raining, and they want to be the tire and make the car roll, like they're out of order, out of place. And guess what? It's not effective and it's not going to work. So likewise, if you're not a singer, it's okay.
It's okay.
Because you may be a great people person and may be great as an usher. You don't need to mean nasty ushers. You know, like you really have a bubbly personality. You're really sweet. I think you would do really well as an usher.
I think that's the perfect way to say that. You know what's this? You know what? This ministry may not be for you, but I do have someone that I want to direct you to, and I want to show you who she is after service. She does a great job with the ushers and the children's ministry.
And the everybody, but that's how I approach it. I really do. Like, people think because you're up on the stage, on the pulpit, you know, they think it's a glamorous thing. You know, I want to be here and I want to sing because the choir rocks, but yeah, you need to be in your right place. And so I try to help people do that.
Amen.
I try to help people.
Okay, so next question.
Okay.
What age group is the most challenging to work with? Would you say the elderly or seasoned citizens, the youth under 18, or my age, middle age?
That's a hard question because every one of them has their challenges. Like, oh, that's hard. I'll tell you this. I actually like working with our older choirs or our seasoned saints because they are hilarious. They have lived life and they kind of just say what they want, and it's like hilarious. Like it's really funny.
Right.
And so like even if they don't have a filter, and even if they're older, like back in the day, they could really sing, and like yeah, they can't, and they know it. So they'd be like, oh, I used to be a first soprano, but you know, now I'm about an alto. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so serious. I think they have a little bit more wisdom, understanding. The middle-aged folks, I think that's probably the most difficult because there's so many different challenges with whether it's people's jobs, they're still trying to find themselves. They have young families a lot of times. So even the timing issue, you know, having to come to rehearsals, you know, oh, I gotta go pick little Johnny up from this. Oh, I gotta leave because I gotta go do this. Or I got parent teacher conference. I gotta do this.
So the middle age are more
middle age. They're a little more emotional just with life.
Yeah.
They want to be married. You know, if they're not married,
then they're going through emotional.
They're going through emotional things, and like you ask a prayer request, and that's always on the docket. You know, some man, I shouldn't say that. Some man, you know, but it bleeds into it, right? So a lot of times I had to be counseled too, which I'm actually trained in clinical counseling. So
yes, he is.
You know, so you really do become a therapist and a pastor, all of that to them.
Yes.
But and little kids are fun. Man, like even though I don't really like working with because their energy is too much. Like they make me nervous. I'm like,
they won't stay still.
Like Shacherica, go sit down. Like look, you know, Day, stop hitting them. You know, it's just like
How is it teaching them music though? And to sing, is it a big deal or no?
With little kids?
Yeah.
With little kids, it you really have to be gifted to work with little kids. But it's fun for me because the songs are easier most times, especially like the little upbeat ones, and I get to move with them and stuff. They really like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually do enjoy teaching kids. I just prefer not to.
I understand.
Yeah, we love the kids, but yeah. Yeah.
All right, last question. Last one. Have you ever been directing a band, group, or a choir and messed up so bad? Y'all messed up so bad that y'all couldn't recover.
That we couldn't recover. Well, hopefully, my groups we're trained enough where we can recover from just about anything. I'm trying to think of anything that's memorable. Like I really messed up. Like I know I've actually done a live recording. And I nailed the actual recording. The rehearsals may have been one thing, but I'll tell you that's what rehearsals are for. Like to get it. So when it comes to actually performance of ministry, you know, we pretty much nail it. I haven't had some of those experiences like you see on the memes where you know somebody just utterly failed. I can't say that because you train. It's training. Like once you get to to that moment, hopefully you worked out all the stuff. You're comfortable enough with the music. Your musicians, they kind of know where you're going. You know, we've all probably had those mishaps where, you know, you change keys, you know, you're doing this, and somebody missed it.
The band ain't paying attention.
That has probably happened, absolutely. And those are always kind of like, all right, let's take our exit. That's it.
We was gonna go around another time.
Nope, we're good.
And this is the sign to end, y'all. Out. Take it out.
So good.
It is good. Okay, so I have my own little story, funny story about Willie Nelson. He don't even know how to talk about. So this is a church story. I was in the choir, and the instructions at rehearsal were given to wear a certain attire.
And we serious about the attire.
And they're serious.
You're gonna comply.
But it wasn't to the point where it was something that you could not buy or could not afford. The instructions were very, very simple. And that was simply to not wear your arms out. We were given a color, 2 colors, and then, you know, don't wear your arms out. Well, Sunday morning comes, and we're all filing into the choir stand, and here comes arms all over the place. Sundress, arms. And I'm sitting in the back. I always go to the back. They always move me to the front. I'm sitting in the back row.
She's a front row singer.
But I always go to the back. I'm sitting in the back row, and she's sitting right in front of me, and I'm like, whoa.
And everybody, you have to say, everybody knows the directions. They know how I am. I'm very clear. I try to be.
He is clear.
So had a whole conversation
about attire and what to wear, what not to wear.
Everybody was there in attendance and heard
what to be questionable.
And
even gave examples.
And there's an email that goes out after.
And the email. Now that's a tip for anybody out there. Communicate again. Communication is key.
Baby, so as gracious as Willie Nelson is, he still allows her to sing, but he wanted to address it. And he did it really, really quiet, really, really low key, didn't cause a scene, and she still got offended, still stormed out the choir stand, witnessed that in the audience wearing her husband and folded her arms, and we were just like, she the one that created the scene, but you was the one that broke the rules. Crazy. But Willie Nelson, you handled that one very well, because she wanted him to be public enemy #1 that day. She wanted to be the victim, and he wasn't going to allow that. Baby, sis, she was wrong.
She wrong.
You was wrong, sis.
Yeah, that was a whole meeting and all that kind of stuff.
Child.
But you know, those are the things behind the scenes people don't see. You know, they just like, oh, is it? No, but you, like I said, you're managing people too.
Managing people.
I mean, that's the thing. Anytime you're a director, you know, you're over people. Like, you have to manage them and manage those situations.
Yes,
you
you do.
Manage personalities.
And he does that very well. He does a lot of things very well. But my friend, he's been patient with me, because there's been times for me where I've gotten tempers and thrown temper tantrums and cut up so bad.
Tamz tempers.
Tamz temper wasn't getting my way for whatever reason. And he's just been so patient with me just over our friendship. And this is just the homie for life.
Yeah.
This is the homie for life. And I want to thank you so much for having me in your home and taking time out to let me do this and interview you and dig all in. And I love him very much.
I love you too.
I'm a sloppy mess. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If this is your first time here at TamzTable, I want you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and drop down in the comments and tell me what you thought. And don't forget, his information, Willie Nelson III, will be in the description box for everyone that is looking for, anybody that is looking for a property to lease or to buy. Thank you so much. My name is TamaraFaye, and this has been TamzTable. Bye. Have a wonderful day.